Qualifying 1 started us off well. P1 with a 1.280 second gap to Russell in second place, while we also had all 3 purple sectors, only close in sector 2. After the session After the session finished, Verstappen overtook Russell to take second place to close the gap to 0.835 seconds behind me. That grammatically doesn't make sense. Qualifying 2 was slightly closer and Charles in second place, 1.063 seconds behind me, the purple sectors being mine, and again close in sector 2. I'm not sure why, possibly the chicanes. It is a small sector with just 2 brake and acceleration zones. After the session, Verstappen came back to go second place, 0.650 seconds behind me once again. Last but not least, qualifying 3, and we started it off with a 1.156 second advantage over Leclerc, once again in second place. This time we found a small amount of time in sector 2. After the timer ran out, we were first, 0.418 seconds ahead of Russell in second place. Much closer than qualifying 1 and 2, but of course these are simulated times by speeding up the session after my only lap. So yeah, I don't really care, as long as I'm on pole.
Welcome along then to race day at what we hope will be another thrilling Formula 1 Grand Prix. With top speeds of around 210 miles per hour heading into the overtaking opportunity of turn 13, the 2.7 miles of the circuit Gilles Villeneuve are some of the quickest on the Formula 1 calendar. There are 14 corners in total, with 60% of the lap taken at full throttle, and average speeds clock in at about 130 miles per hour. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. A fantastic effort from Esteban Ocon yesterday, and it's put him on pole, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Hamilton, Max Verstappen and Leclerc, Sainz, Gasly, Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel, Bottas, Zhou, Sergio Perez and Magnussen, Tsunoda, Albon, Nicholas Latifi and Mick Schumacher, Stroll and Daniel Ricciardo fills the last spot on the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Natalie Pinkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
Personally, I think coders need to come up with some more pre-race intros for the commentators. It's getting a bit boring to hear the same thing over and over again about nerves. I learned enough of them in biology. I don't want to continue my study of nerves. Anywho, changing strategy, seeing if we can make it as quick as possible. However, as you can see, it's forecasted cloudy, and so C maybe might be raining. I don't know. Actually, I do know because I've already done the race. But change the strategy, seeing if medium hards can go the distance. But it seemed like double medium and a hard is much quicker than the one stop, and the double medium soft is much quicker than even that. So yeah, let's see. As of late, I've had a lot of fuel left on board, but but we're going to leave it again with a lot of fuel left on board at the end of the race. And the icons do say that 90 minutes and 2 hours in, there is going to be no rain. There's just going to be forecast cloud, but I'll have to ask Mark later in the race when it becomes important. Everyone on medium and hards to begin the race as well, so a mixed strategies, but all going to be very similar to each other. Let's go. Right, I've tried to sync it up straight from video to audio. I've also put my mic in this time so that you can hear me nice and clearly. So that's just so in case I haven't synced it up correctly. Anyway, let's get into the highlights. So, lap 1. We started on the mediums. I think George and Lando did as well. Heading towards turn 1, we got ahead of both of them. Lando, the little devil, had a look at going down my inside, but nothing worked. Russell backed out on the outside, and so they went side by side through turn 2, causing them contact, and so I was able to just pull away from there. However, George Russell was what do I call it? Qualifying. I'm not so good around here. I love the circuit. I'm just not so. I'm not the best. Not many corners where you can actually try and gain time. So George was able to hang on to me for the first few laps. Really, it wasn't until he pit where I actually had pit rejoin position of first. It wasn't until George pit, so we never really pulled a pit stop gap on him in the first stint. I'm just going to go back to Schumacher after the end of this lap. Because he made contact with someone. George and Lando did, but there's no need to see where they hit, but I'll do it anyway. Because this race I did not corner cut at all. And these 3 bits of contact, or 2, there it is, that's probably it. These 3 bits of contact, these technically 3 warnings, shall we say, for contact makes up most of the race director incidents. That's how clean I was this race. Normally I'm not. Especially around Canada. Normally I corner cut quite a lot. It's not often that I go a race without corner cutting around Canada. Yeah. Lando tried diving, then tried to corner cut, but then the AI were like, nope, we don't corner cut, and so opened the steering wheel and kind of just drifted into Russell. I don't think Russell turned in on Lando. I think that's more of Lando just not. If I was alongside him, he would have collided into me. Not entirely sure where Schumacher's collision was. I just know it happened after George and Lando. Is he going to make contact with Daniel? Nope, Stroll. You don't... What the hell is he doing? I'm so confused. What? I'm not going all the way back. What is it? He hasn't even made contact, has he? slight. Yeah, there's a slight bit of contact. What is he doing though? He's tried to dive bomb someone who is nowhere near. That's so weird. Anyway, lap 3 we broke lap 2 we broke DRS. Lap 5 we broke undercut overcut range. I call that 2 seconds. Lando just lost a lot of speed in the first couple of laps, and this probably caused that. Pulling over to the side and retiring from the Grand Prix, just like he did the first time he came to Canada. I'm just going to let him get to last so I can get to me in one moment. Lap 8. We don't need to show that I went past him. Lap 22, AI, well, so the front running AI started to pit. George down in 4th. I, however, had Strat, if you would have seen, going to lap 28. Practically 4/7 through the Grand Prix, 10ths, 2/5. So it'd be split 28, 27, and then 15. Why it was quicker to do 28, 27, 15 instead of 28, 28, 14? No idea. Ask the game. Maybe my tyre wear was going to be a bit. No, maybe the game thought I'd be quite good on the softs at the end. So in we come to the pit lane. This was one of the times I weren't cautious, and it paid off. Went into the pit lane, one solid brake line, and I was, what, 12 miles per hour above the limit. The only reason I use miles per hour still is because of it's what I'm used to. I would use kilometers, but you know, miles is what I'm used to. Anyway, Sonoda came out being lapped. Not entirely sure what happened to him. I'll have to check the incidents out. No, I think he just got damaged by slight contact. Nothing happened then till lap 36. I'm not entirely sure where this happened though, so we're going to go through the whole lap. It's not like I've got anything to do anyway. It's only just gone 9 o'clock, so we can waste a couple minutes or so. I'm not actually sure where this actually happened, so I will have no idea. What I can tell you though, Pierre Gasly having a great race at the moment, up in P7, and the AlphaTauris haven't been doing so well in the championship as of late, if I remember correctly. I have got the correct lap book, guys. At the moment, managing to hold off Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez. Watch out for Charles later, by the way. I thought it was a mechanical retirement. What did he do? Oh! Pierre! Oh no! Oh no, Pierre! Oh! That is so unlucky. Oh! Not gonna go through the whole sector, but man. Ah, just put too much throttle. Just what, like, kind of what I tried to describe in qualifying. I hope I do try and describe it in qualifying, else this is just a useless bit of commentary. But yeah, he just plants the throttle too much and taps the curb. If he didn't tap the curb, I don't think he would have gone into the other barrier, maybe. Would that have changed anything? Yeah, because it almost corrected him. Well, no, because he hit the wall like this. He would have hit the wall like this if he didn't hit the first wall, so he still would have been retiring. Pierre. Very unlucky. Caused the safety car. So, yeah, unlucky for him. Yuki Tsunoda, however, was lapped and so is in this train. And will get lapped fairly soon by everyone else. Me trying to warm up the tyres, even though it's quite useless behind the safety car. Especially when the lights go off. I've found recently that the game limits you. You can't rev your engine as much as you want to. So, as I cannot warm up my tyres like I want to, I instead cool down everyone else's tyres. Is this petty? Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I'm allowed to do it. you cannot really tell me off. I'm allowed to set the pace of the field. So, yeah. I just find it funny how Yuki Tsunoda's interval is now going ever so slightly up. But heading into the chicane, I launched it because I wanted to get a good run through the chicane. Got a snap of oversteer, however, but it was fine. It's coming across the line. You can see Tsunoda backing out and letting everyone pass. Surprised that with 30 laps to go I didn't lap him again, but is that a spoiler? No, because sorry if you care about Yuki, but he's not. He's down in 18th. He's not going to do anything. Kind of almost did a Pierre. Just went a little bit wide, and then slight bit of too much throttle, and did that allow George to get close? No, it didn't. Now you may be wondering, I told you about the forecast, and you may have seen the forecast. Rain. Where is said rain? Actually, I don't know. No, I do know. I do know. You can see slightly getting darker and darker and darker and darker. Then I asked on lap 53, what are you doing, Daniel? I asked on lap 53 what's happening with the rain, and it said rain is imminent and will be arriving anytime soon. And lo and behold, my pit lap, lap 55, it began to rain. Believe me, it did. Not sector 1. Sector 2, it began to rain. But obviously, my pit lap, I'm not going to go pitting on to... Maybe I'll go into this camera and I'll see the rain. Obviously, as it's my pit lap, I'm not just going to go straight onto inters, and there's no way I was extending these mediums now. So, did the rain come on lap 56? It was one of these two laps. So, yeah. 15 laps to go. I'm not going to extend these mediums, because even if the rain just stays light, like it did in Saudi Arabia, there is no reason that I need to pit, because I've done double medium. So I came in for my softs, and once again doing a fairly good braking for the pit lane. I think you can slightly see some raindrops if you look closely. Yeah, look at the front right there. Or go back if you want. I don't care. Yeah, you can see some slight raindrops. And lap 56, we came out back in first place, of course. Daniel, who had already pit and dropped down all the way to 16th. Is Tsunoda not lapped by Perez yet? Hold on. No, he is. Okay, never mind. Going through sector 1, you can see the rain, and in cockpit cam, it is visible now. And so, obviously, I didn't care what the rain was doing, but on lap 55, don't know why I paused, George took the fastest lap, so lap 57, I said, I need to get it now, else I'm not getting it. And then, the rain. Well, I don't know why I stayed on board for lap 59. When did you come in? No, it weren't. Okay, never mind. Oh, no, that's just an overtake. 64, you can see it's very wet now. And so, I've already got a pit stop gap ahead of Charles. So, I can't say it to my engineer, but I was saying that I am not going to finish the race on inters just because I can. I'm going to finish on the race on inters because they're quicker. And I was waiting for that call to tell me that they were quicker. But, again, nothing happening. Then, lap 64, the big man, Russell, I went on to my teammate because that's the only reference I had. The big man Russell I don't know why, came in to the pits. And now did Vettel didn't. Max did. Did Sainz. Eight people came in. Hamilton, Alonso. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These 8 people came in, so that on lap 65, I was here, and I had just been told that Fernando had pit. So I needed to make sure that he had pit onto inters, else I weren't coming in. And literally, I was told just at the braking zone that he came in for inters. So I quickly told Mark, box this lap. I was told now that he was on inters. Box this lap. Came in. I'd already set the inters, so I didn't need to do that on the radio. But came in, and onto the inters we went. And so we finished the final 5 laps of the race on the intermediate tyres because they were quicker. Because we weren't going to lose a position. We didn't need to worry about them being quicker and making up a position, because we were able to keep the position anyway. I just wanted to finish on the fastest tyre because that's what drivers do. We want to finish as fast as possible. Now, could I have pit earlier? Could I have pit when I was told that? Could I have been told that? I'm just going to find a DRS person now. Yeah, could I have pit on lap 60 when I was told that the stewards had just disabled DRS? Yeah, I could. Because if you pay attention, okay, George. Okay, maybe it was a lap ago. Where was I? Was somewhere. Oh, I know. I was about here when I was told DRS is disabled. Although the AI still used it. Latifi, you got the yes, you have. But the boom, no DRS. Could I have pit then? Yeah, but I wanted to make sure I was on the quicker tyre. And so coming across the line to begin lap 70. I did almost get jump scare. Stroll. No, I didn't. No, that was Yuki. When I first pit. Stroll, the menace. His strategy and Ricciardo's strategy, absolutely bonkers. I'm surprised that Ricciardo is even within DRS range of Zhou. But to be fair, Perez, Zhou, Ricciardo and Stroll had more than 3-stop race. And why is that important? Well, the top 13 had a 3-stop race. Stroll, Ricciardo, Zhou and Perez had a 4-stop. So yeah, I think, yeah, this is Ricciardo and Zhou ahead. To be honest, I thought this was Sainz, not Zhou. I knew it was Ricciardo. But we came across the line to win the Canadian Grand Prix. Had the rain, but not the safety car in the rain, but we had the safety car in the dry, so I'm counting that. Because if you look back over this race, you say what happened. You say it was dry, it was wet, then there was and there was a safety car. You don't have to say when the safety car was. Yeah, I'm just going to show you Perez 5-stop. They did a 5-stop. Never mind. Yuki did a 3-stop though. They did 5-stop. And crucially, Charles and Charles third. Told you to look out for him. Charles and Vettel started on hard and made their way up. I guess because softer tyres when the rain appeared, so they had more grip. Anyway, that is the end of the race. You don't need any more information. If you do, well, you can just put it in the comments. But since no one puts anything in the comments, you don't need any more information. So that is going to be it. And I'll hand you over to the more in-depth, later version of me. Bye. First off, we've got to do the weekend clip, as always. Surprisingly, nothing happened in the race, and so I was left to just take the final lap. As you can see in lap 70, P1, the rain only burned us 5 seconds slower than previous, and as you can see, the ERS completely deleted, left it on overtake through the final chain, and finished the race in P1.
Great drive, we did it! Good job, we did it!
And on no battery left, and Mark being very enthusiastic about this victory. Let's go.
You can't fault the performance on the track today. A well-deserved victory. So, Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
It's an heroic effort for any driver to race in conditions like these, and seeing them fight their way to the front was very special indeed. They were able to find all the grip, all the good lines, and had the confidence to get on the power to top it all off. That's what pushed them into first place today.
As today's winners make their way up the podium steps, the folks at Alpine have shown once again just what it takes to build a successful Formula One team. A well-deserved win for them.
It's still stupid to see how after the race, even if the race has a bit of rain at the end, the race goes back to dry. Still so stupid to see. Especially when all the cars are on intermediates and you're on a bone dry pit lane. Blue skies. Come on, Cody's. Surely that's something you can just get right. Wet scenes becoming dry scenes, forget about them. There's a saying that normally says when you try to ignore something, but I forgot it. So I'm just going to talk about the race now. The race was done on the 4th of February, 2 weeks ago today, when the script had been written on the 18th of February. The voicing is actually the day later, on the 19th of February. The tire temperatures are therefore quite out of my memory, but the grid slot was good purple, just over the yellow line at the front of the grid box. The start then was a poor one, but Jaws also had a poor start, so into turn 1 I had a clear lead and was uncontested until Norris tried dive bombing me, but hit the curb and slowed himself, and initiated a battle between himself and George. On the same lap, and at the same incident, Norris and Russell made contact, giving themselves a warning for collision each. This was caused by Russell turning into turn 1, being behind me, and Norris straight lining over the apex of turn 1. Schumacher also received a collision warning for dive bombing and hitting Stroll while he was defending from Ricciardo. Very weird from Mick as he was heading into the brake zone, nowhere near the Aston Martin, and it was just a very slow dive bomb. Next up on lap 7, Norris retired from the Grand Prix, pulling over the side after turn 2 and before turn 3. No safety car or virtual safety car, just a brief yellow flag. Lap 28, and we then came in for my first of 2 planned pit stops from medium to medium tyres, then softs at the end of the race. The pit stop was a good one with a quick release, no speeding, and as we exited the pit exit, we were side by side with Tsunoda after he got lapped, so he quickly let me fall in line. He quickly fell in line. I don't know why he's letting me fall in line. I'm on the racing line. He's the one that needs to be falling in line. Script over. Then, after the halfway point in the race, we head on board with Pierre Gasly on lap 36, where he lost a rear end through the final chicane, and so he began spinning, and in doing so he hit the wall of champions. This then corrected the car a little bit, but unfortunately for him, he barreled towards the pit lane wall, and a collision with the wall retired him from the race, and this retirement caused a brief yellow flag, which quickly became a safety car, bunching up the grid for a safety car restart. If the Frenchman did not hit the wall of champions, he could have survived with just a need for a front wing change. But like I said, in Azerbaijan, it's just speculation and hypotheticals. We arrived on lap 40 and the FIA decided the safety car was fine to come into the pits at the end of the lap. And so I backed up the entire grid down the whole of the back straight, and at the 100 metre board heading into the final chicane, I bolted. But I fell a little bit on the pit straight after I lost the rear end heading out of the final corner, but no spin like Gasly. We next headed to lap 55 where I started to see the forecasted rain. Yeah, I kind of forgot. When doing the script, I do the script. I do the script along with the whilst watching the highlights, so I don't even know what the forecast is. Forecast rain falling upon my visor and the car's body, or around lap 55. I'm not sure because I cannot quite remember. Lap 55, we then came in for the final planned pit stop for the fresh set of softs. No speeding in the pit lane, a nice stop and a quick release meant we still had the lead of the race. Okay, well, we maintained P1 due to the AI also pitting for their final planned pit stop. However, with the rain, not race, lightly falling, I kept asking Mark over the radio for the weather forecast because by lap 60 we built a pit stop gap again over Leclerc, so I would only need to box for intermediates if they were quicker than the softs because we did not have to worry about losing positions. Basically, I just wanted to finish the race on the quickest tyres. I mean, would it have been the quickest way to finish the race? Don't know. I'd have to look at the lap times. 8 drivers: Russell, Verstappen, Sainz, Hamilton, Alonso, Bottas, Albon and Magnussen, in that order, made my decision for me on lap 64 by boxing for intermediates. Well, technically only Alonso. I only knew about Alonso pitting, I didn't know about the other 7. Therefore, on lap 65, I boxed for intermediates as well. The DRS was disabled on lap 60, but as the rain was not heavy enough yet, I did not box until now. However, it does not matter, as in the end, everyone made it onto the intermediates, and we came through on lap 70 to finish the Grand Prix with conditions like last season: a dry period, a wet period, and a safety car period. Just not a wet safety car period. No, we're keeping this PG. Right, potentially rude jokes aside, it would be full redemption if the safety car did happen under wet conditions. But we cannot have everything our way, so I'll settle with a victory. Yeah, I kind of feel like that joke didn't work. What I should have said was a dry bit, a wet bit, and a safety car. Just not a wet safety car. That would have worked. Oh well. You don't care about me anymore. No one had ever cared about me in these videos. Let me just say that I do have family. They do care about me. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm just going to say goodbye. And I will see you on Thursday for the British Grand Prix, my home race. Let's go. And win it like we did last season.